Racing Legends, the High-Octane Fight for Neo City's Future Part 1. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the bustling streets of Neo City. The air was thick with anticipation as the city's underground racing scene prepared for the biggest event of the year. The roar of engines and the smell of burning rubber filled the air, signaling the start of a night that would be remembered for years to come. In the heart of the action stood Alex "Ace" Carter, a seasoned street racer with a reputation for being both fearless and unstoppable. His sleek, midnight black car, a heavily modified Nissan GT-R, gleamed under the neon lights. Ace's piercing blue eyes scanned the crowd, searching for familiar faces and potential rivals. Ready to make history, Ace, a voice called out from behind him. Ace turned to see his best friend and trusted mechanic, Mia Torres, approaching with a confident grin. Mia was a genius with engines and had been by Ace's side through countless races. "Always, Mia," Ace replied, his voice steady and determined. "Tonight's the night we take it all." As the racers lined up at the starting line, the atmosphere grew electric. The crowd's cheers reached a fever pitch, and the tension was palpable. Ace took his position, gripping the steering wheel tightly. He could feel the adrenaline coursing through his veins, sharpening his focus. The signal to start flashed, and the racers launched forward with a deafening roar. Ace's GT-R surged ahead, its powerful engine propelling it like a bullet. The city streets blurred past as he weaved through traffic, narrowly avoiding collisions and outmaneuvering his opponents. But this race was different. It wasn't just about speed, it was about strategy and precision. Ace knew that the real challenge lay in the twists and turns of the city's labyrinthine streets. He relied on Mia's expert guidance, communicated through a discreet earpiece, to navigate the treacherous course. "Left turn coming up, Ace. Stay sharp," Mia's voice crackled in his ear. Ace executed the turn flawlessly, his tires screeching as he maintained control. He could see the other racers struggling to keep up, their cars skidding and fishtailing. But Ace was in his element, his instincts honed by years of experience. As the race progressed, Ace found himself neck and neck with a mysterious newcomer driving a sleek, silver Lamborghini. The driver's identity was hidden behind tinted windows, but their skill was undeniable. They matched Ace move for move, pushing him to his limits. "Who is this guy?" Ace muttered to himself, his competitive spirit ignited. The final stretch of the race loomed ahead, a straightaway that would determine the winner. Ace and the Lamborghini were side by side, their engines roaring in unison. The finish line was in sight, and the crowd's cheers reached a crescendo. With a burst of speed, Ace pushed his GT-R to its absolute limit. The car responded with a surge of power, inching ahead of the Lamborghini. The finish line drew closer, and Ace's heart pounded in his chest. In a blur of motion, Ace crossed the finish line just a fraction of a second ahead of the Lamborghini. The crowd erupted in applause, and Ace let out a triumphant shout. He had done it. He had won the race. As Ace climbed out of his car, he was greeted by Mia's beaming smile. "You did it, Ace. That was incredible." But before Ace could respond, the driver of the Lamborghini approached, removing their helmet to reveal a striking woman with fiery red hair and a determined expression. "Nice race," she said, extending her hand. "Name's Riley. Looks like we've got some unfinished business." Ace shook her hand, a grin spreading across his face. "Looks like it. Welcome to Neo City, Riley." The aftermath of the race buzzed through Neo City like an electric current. Ace and his crew basked in their victory, but the presence of Riley, the mysterious new racer, lingered in the back of Ace's mind. He couldn't shake the feeling that she was more than just a competitor. The next day, Ace and Mia were back at their garage, a hidden gem in the industrial district. The place was a haven for gearheads, filled with the hum of engines and the scent of motor oil. Ace was under the hood of his GT-R, fine-tuning the engine, when Mia walked in with a newspaper. "Check this out," she said, tossing the paper onto the workbench. The headline read, "New Racer Shakes Up Neo City's Underground Scene." Ace glanced at the article, which featured a photo of Riley's silver Lamborghini. "She's making waves already," he muttered. "Yeah, and she's not just here for fun," Mia replied. "I did some digging. Riley's got a reputation. She's been dominating races all over the country." Ace's curiosity was piqued. "What's her story?" "Not much is known, but she's got skills and a serious drive. Some say she's looking for something or someone." Before Ace could respond, the sound of a roaring engine echoed outside the garage. He looked up to see Riley's Lamborghini pulling up. She stepped out, her fiery red hair catching the sunlight, and walked over with a confident stride. "Morning, Ace," she greeted, her eyes glinting with determination. "Got a minute?" Ace wiped his hands on a rag and nodded. "Sure. What's up?" Riley leaned against the workbench, her expression serious. "I need your help. There's a race coming up, and it's not just any race. It's an invitation-only event, and the stakes are high." Ace raised an eyebrow. "How high?" "Winner takes all. And I mean everything: money, cars, respect. But there's more to it. The race is being organized by Victor." The name sent a chill down Ace's spine. Victor was a notorious figure in Neo City's underworld, known for his ruthless tactics and connections to the crime syndicate. "What's Victor got to do with this?" Riley's jaw tightened. "He's using the race to recruit the best drivers for his syndicate. If he gets his hands on them, he'll control the streets." Ace exchanged a glance with Mia, who nodded subtly. "All right, I'm in. But why come to me?" "Because I need someone I can trust," Riley admitted. "And after last night, I know you're the real deal." Ace considered her words, then extended his hand. "Let's do this." The night of the race arrived, and the atmosphere was electric. The location was a secret, revealed only to those invited. Ace, Mia, and Riley arrived at an abandoned airstrip on the outskirts of the city. The place was packed with racers and spectators, the air thick with anticipation. Ace's GTR and Riley's Lamborghini were lined up at the starting line, along with a dozen other high-performance cars. The tension was palpable as the racers revved their engines, ready to unleash their power. "Remember, this isn't just about winning," Riley reminded Ace. "We need to keep an eye on Victor and his men." Ace nodded, his focus razor-sharp. "Got it." The signal to start flashed, and the racers launched forward with a thunderous roar. The airstrip turned into a blur of speed and adrenaline as the cars tore down the runway. Ace's GTR roared like a beast, its engine pushing to the limit. As they approached the first turn, chaos erupted. One of Victor's men, driving a heavily armored SUV, rammed into a competitor, sending them spinning off the track. Ace swerved to avoid the wreck, his heart pounding. "Stay focused, Ace." Mia's voice crackled through the earpiece. "We've got this." Ace gritted his teeth and pushed on, weaving through the chaos. Riley was right beside him, her Lamborghini handling the turns with precision. They were neck and neck with Victor's men, the race turning into a battle for survival. The final stretch loomed ahead, a straightaway that would determine the winner. Ace and Riley exchanged a determined glance, then floored their accelerators. The finish line was in sight, but so was Victor's SUV, barreling towards them. With a burst of speed, Ace and Riley surged ahead, their cars crossing the finish line side by side. The crowd erupted in cheers, but the victory was bittersweet. They had won the race, but the real battle was just beginning. As they climbed out of their cars, Victor approached, a sinister smile on his face. "Impressive," he said, his voice dripping with menace. "But this is just the beginning. Welcome to my world." Ace and Riley exchanged a determined look. They knew they were in for the fight of their lives, but they were ready. The race had only just begun. The victory at the airstrip was short-lived. Ace, Riley, and Mia knew that Victor's sinister smile was a promise of trouble to come. They gathered at the garage, the atmosphere tense as they planned their next move. "We need to find out what Victor's up to," Mia said, her fingers flying over her laptop. "He's not just organizing races for fun. There's something bigger at play." Riley nodded. "I've heard rumors about a heist. Victor's planning to steal a priceless artifact from the Neo City Museum. If he gets his hands on it, he'll have the power to control the entire underground scene." Ace's jaw tightened. "We can't let that happen. What's the plan?" Mia pulled up a blueprint of the museum on her screen. "I've hacked into the museum's security system. We can disable the alarms and cameras, but we'll need to move fast. The heist is going down tomorrow night." Riley leaned in, studying the blueprint. "We'll need a distraction to draw Victor's men away from the main exhibit. Ace, you and I will handle the artifact. Mia, you'll be our eyes and ears." Ace nodded, his mind already racing through the details. "Let's do this." The night of the heist arrived, and the crew was ready. They parked their cars a few blocks away from the museum, blending into the shadows. Ace and Riley wore black, their faces obscured by masks. Mia was stationed in a nearby van, her laptop connected to the museum's security system. "All right, I'm in," Mia's voice crackled through their earpieces. "Cameras are down. You've got a 10-minute window." Ace and Riley moved swiftly, slipping through the museum's side entrance. The halls were eerily silent, the only sound their footsteps echoing off the marble floors. They reached the main exhibit, where the artifact, a golden idol encrusted with jewels, was displayed in a glass case. "Here it is," Riley whispered, her eyes gleaming with determination. "Let's get it and get out." Ace nodded, carefully removing the glass case. As he reached for the idol, the sound of footsteps echoed down the hall. "We've got company," he muttered. Riley's eyes narrowed. "Victor's men. We need to move, now." They grabbed the idol and sprinted towards the exit, but their path was blocked by a group of armed thugs. "Hand over the idol," one of them growled, raising his weapon. Ace and Riley exchanged a glance, then sprang into action. Ace tackled the nearest thug, disarming him with a swift move. Riley spun, delivering a high kick that sent another thug crashing to the ground. The hall erupted into chaos as they fought their way through Victor's men. "Go, go, go." Mia's voice urged through the earpiece. "I've got the van ready." Ace and Riley burst through the museum's side door, sprinting towards the van. They dove inside, the tires screeching as Mia floored the accelerator. The van sped through the city streets, narrowly avoiding pursuit. "We did it," Riley panted, clutching the idol. "But Victor's not going to let this slide." Ace nodded, his mind already racing with the next steps. "We need to find out why this idol is so important to him. Mia, can you dig up any information?" Mia nodded, her fingers flying over the keyboard. "I'll see what I can find. But we need to be careful. Victor's going to come after us with everything he's got." Back at the garage, the crew gathered around Mia's laptop. She had managed to uncover some information about the idol. "It's not just a priceless artifact," she explained. "It's a key. According to legend, it unlocks a hidden vault containing a fortune in gold and jewels." Riley's eyes widened. "No wonder Victor wants it. If he gets his hands on that fortune, he'll be unstoppable." Ace's jaw tightened. "We need to find that vault before he does. But we'll need help." Riley nodded. "I know some people who might be able to assist. But it's going to be dangerous." Ace met her gaze, determination burning in his eyes. "We're in this together. Let's take down Victor and protect our city."